Howard Coffman.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, council members. My name is Howard Coffman. I'm from Nashua. You heard that town city mentioned this evening. I'm here to pretty much report on personal experience at a recent executive committee for the Granite State Futures program. At that particular time I attended, and although the commission, the assembled executive committee, I'm sorry, I just wanted to know I was being listened to. At that particular time they asked for input, and they spent the whole half an hour of the beginning of the meeting talking about how do we solicit input from the people. Yet when it came time toward the end of the meeting, when several people had raised their hands for questions, we were told that there was no time on that particular day to receive questions from the public. And in fact, they hurried out the meeting without ever answering any questions directly. And when they were asked to give us time on their next meeting, they initially said they didn't have time for public input. And they subsequently did agree to add 15 minutes on their next agenda, which is supposed to be in September. I just want you to know that as an RPC, as the Granite State Futures program, is one that says it's bottom-up, soliciting input from everybody and organizing it and then bringing it forward. But the committee structure that they use in their program is everything but that. They have separate technical committee, an executive committee. They have, I think there's 3 or 4 levels of committee, each of which is isolated from the other, except at the executive committee level. Oh yeah, thank you. I love that look because it doesn't make sense, but it makes perfect sense if you want to control the outcome. One of the previous speakers spoke about HUD's influence in this program and the mandated outcomes. You really need to look into that, folks. And as my final comment, because I don't really know how much time I have left, attending another executive committee of the Nashua RPC, they handed out their budget for the year. And I just would like to mention that the monthly budget expenses for the Nashua Area Regional Planning Commission is $200,370.87. That's 1 month of expenses for roughly 12 to 14 people, $7,300 in rent. So they get their money from grants. And what happens is that one RPC gives money to another RPC so that they do projects for each other. There's $297,000 of in-kind services from either New Hampshire Department of Transportation, University of New Hampshire, or whatever. That's not accounted for, or specified, I should say, in the grant documentation. $297,000 of you scratch my back and I'll scratch yours. If it's a contract, then pay for a service. This in-kind stuff leads to fraud, corruption, and misappropriation of public funds. And you guys, by entering into this program, become complicit in that kind of funding and expense of public funds. I urge you to vote against this, and I thank you for your time this evening.
GrokTV.